guys, it's your girl Linda Tamara. Welcome back to my channel. This video today is definitely going to be a little bit different than the other videos that I've put out so far. Just because I've been in a weird space, to be honest, and I really just wanted to come and talk. With all that's going on in our world right now, and there's definitely a lot going on in our world right now. You can be so consumed by everything that we're distracted from our own purpose. And seeing what's going on in our world right now can really bring people to a point of despair, depression, fear, anxiety, stress, all that, overwhelm. Because there's just a lot, and it is overwhelming. I get it, and believe me, I get it. As someone who struggles sometimes with dealing with anxiety attacks, not necessarily living constantly in anxiety itself, but every now and then, if I am not dealing with things mentally in my mind, and talking them out or writing them out through some form of expression, if I'm not expressing it to someone else through a conversation and just getting things up out of my chest, I will even have anxiety attacks. And it's crazy because sometimes I feel like I'm just fine. Why am I feel like I can't breathe right now? Why is my chest like so tight? If that's you, I'm talking to you. If you're in a place right now that everything is causing you to be overwhelmed and causing you to be afraid, have anxiety, even to the point that maybe you used to battle with depression and you're good now, but all these things are like triggers because you feel really hopeless right now, then this video is for you. Now, we are all in a state of emergency, if you ask me. If you look around the world, globally, number one, we're in a pandemic with this virus that's going around. And so that has people like fearful and scared, and we're on these social distance lockdowns around the world, which that alone is creating stress for people. We are now spending time with our loved ones and those that live with us a lot more longer during the day, and for some of us it's healthy, and for some of us it's not. For some of us it's toxic because those relationships were already broken. So it's causing us to either confront issues or deal with what's really reality, and showing us what our reality really looks like. The other thing that we can look around, you just look on the news, you just look on social media, and you will see the chaos in this world with a lot of the protests and riots of what has been happening and going on in our world for quite some time. many years. It's nothing new, to be honest, when it comes to racism and police brutality and all that stuff. None of that is actually new at all. But the sad thing is that it's still so prevalent in our 2020 day and time. I think that's what's so heart-wrenching and saddening, is that, you know, centuries later, when we have all this new technology and all these upgrades, yet we cannot upgrade our hearts towards one another, towards humanity, period. Injustice is such a heart-wrenching, emotional, traumatic thing when you see injustice. And we see injustice in our world. In every country there is some form of injustice, no matter what color you are, whether it's male or female, whether it's religion or race. There's always, in every single country, some form of injustice. And for me, that breaks my heart, and that can cause you to feel helpless and hopeless. If that's you today, and you're sitting and you're seeing everything that's going on, from the virus in this pandemic and the virus of racism and injustice, and it's causing you to doubt that there's even hope what's my purpose? Like, what's the point? If that's you, I want to speak to you because it's easy to get to that place. So don't feel bad because even that crosses your mind. It's just because when we see so much negativity around us, when you turn on the TV, when you scroll on your phone, when you're on your computer, when you go out and about and you realize you have to stand in the line outside a grocery store with a mask and then go home when you are in a city that has a curfew. These things are in your face and they cause you to think like, what's going on? So it's normal to have those thoughts of like, is there purpose? It's normal and it's okay. But I want to speak to that because we don't want to sit there. We don't want to dwell there. We want to move past those feelings. We want to overcome those feelings. And the only way you can overcome negativity is with positivity. So sometimes you really have to take a social media break. Sometimes you really have to step outside, breathe some fresh air, go for a drive, talk to your close friend or family member or counselor or pastor and get stuff up and off your chest. If you're angry, say you're angry. There's nothing wrong with being angry about injustice. There's nothing wrong with being bothered right now. It's okay to be bothered. We should be bothered. There's a problem if we're not bothered by these things. I just want to encourage you, if you're watching, it's time to be movers and shakers, seriously. But one thing, if we're gonna be movers and shakers in this time, we have to be thinkers. We have to be thinkers, because a lot of what I'm seeing is a lot of people will retweet and repost because we agree, we can kind of relate, but a lot of times it's so easy to retweet and repost without thinking for ourselves. It's time to be thinkers. Think for yourself. It's disturbing to me to see the state of our humanity, of our world. It's very disturbing. The things that I see on social media, it's very disturbing. It's very heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. I had to take a minute to just pause. I didn't want to speak in those moments because I would have really spoke out of an angry place. And I had to give myself time to reflect and deal with my emotions, my feelings that were very real, that are still very real. But I had to get my headspace right so that I could talk again. And we have to have these conversations. I've been seeing a lot of conversations, and one thing that I can say is I'm happy for conversations. I'm happy that people are sitting down and actually taking a moment, and it's okay to me if we're disagreeing in these moments. That's fine, but we're talking. We're talking, and that's huge. You know, we're living in a world that we love entertainment. We love entertainment and we love to be entertained. We're so accustomed to be consumers. We have such a strong consumer mindset. We eat up everything, literally, with our eyes, with our ears. We want everything quickly, microwave generation. We hear that all the time, but it's so true. Like everything from fast food to shopping, everything we want fast. When we travel, we want to get there the quickest way, the shortest route. We want fast businesses, overnight success. Relationships, we want them quickly. We want it now. There's just so many things that, like, everything is so fast. So at this moment in life where we actually have a pause, where we actually are forced to sit still, it creates such overwhelm for many because we haven't sat like this and had to sit still like this for years, in a long time. Some people, their very career is a constant go. Our family life is work 9 to 5, kids at school all day, come home and do other things, and we're involved in sports and this and that, and we're just go. Pause, take a minute, Don't lose hope. We need hope. At a time like this, hope is what we have to hold on to. My shirt here, it says, "The future is bright." Now, a lot of people right now may not believe that because things are looking pretty dim. And to be honest with you, things might get darker before they even get brighter. But if we lose hope, there's nothing left. We need hope so that we can continue to progress to our purpose. So if that's you and everything that you're watching and everything you're seeing is causing you to actually lose hope in humanity, lose hope in your own personal purpose, lose hope in that dream that you actually have to be successful at ABCD, to be a successful business owner. You're looking at the economy right now and it looks pretty bleak and dim. Don't allow what you see going on around you to bring you to a place of hopelessness. What we see through our eye gates, through our ear gates, what we hear, it really does make a difference. Because if you focus on negativity, you're gonna produce negativity. If you have the right people around you, the right influences, and you protect your space and your peace, that's what you will put out. So how can we not lose hope? There's 3 ways to not lose hope. Number 1, guard your heart. Number 2, guard your ears. What you listen to, what you allow your ears to hear becomes your thoughts. What you think on becomes your actions. Number 3, guard your eyes. Because what we see goes in and it affects, again, what we think on subconsciously in our minds. And when we sleep, the things that we see still play in our subconscious. What we see can cause trauma as well. I remember when I was younger, the things that used to be on TV for the levels of maturity, age levels, the violence and stuff. If you used to watch old Western movies, you will see that when they used to shoot with the guns, there would be no blood. Now we look and we laugh, we're like, it looks so fake. But now, because everything looks so real, we are actually having trauma by watching the things that we watch because it's made to be so real now. We're seeing things that are so graphic that it's so easy for people to watch a really violent graphic movie and we're wondering why we're numb. We have become desensitized by what we're watching, but we're also traumatized by those things too. And it's very real. There's a verse in the Bible that says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. And there's 2 other versions of that same verse that I'm going to say because I like the different versions. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. We are seeing this in our world. We need to protect our hearts. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. And we're seeing that being displayed in our world. That because people's hearts have become so cold and so broken, that hurt people will always hurt people. And we've become callous and cold to things that should be breaking our heart in a compassionate way. We must be careful of what we take in, because what we take in is what we put out. We are seeing right now so many things being spewed out of people because of what was poured into them, or what they're allowing to be poured into them. Things like racism are taught. You're not born that way. So these things are taught. And when we constantly watch things and become angry, taking on other people's offense, it's much easier for us to then offend. So with all the negativity that's going on in this world, I just wanted to come and give some positivity, spread some love and some hope. We will get through this. How we get through is the difference. If anything that you've taken from this video, just know you have a purpose. There is hope. Your voice is valuable. Your voice counts. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to speak out. But before you speak, think.